Hello, welcome to the open source project management program provided by the Tactical Kaizen team. Welcome to our next open source module. Preparation of the business benefits case. Doing something that isn't worth doing comes at the cost of something worth doing. Charlie Gilkey, the 3 goals of any business activity. With this module, we are opening the 4th step in our iterative plan, do, check, adjust cycle of the Kaizen framework. The main learning objective of this module is to help you understand how to quantify and gain support for your simplification project. By the end of this module, you'll understand why business benefits are important. You'll be able to define, quantify and communicate business benefits. You will know where to go to get further help if you need to create a more formal business case for your work. One of the most challenging aspects of trying to simplify or improve some part of the business can often be the job of convincing management to allow you and others to invest the time and often money required to make the change. Or you may be trying to get the owner of the process to invest in the requirement or need you have. Learning how to justify a project is an important skill, and the ability to define and quantify business benefits is key to supporting any cause. This module will include discussion on several aspects of business benefits, including defining project goals and objectives, identifying and quantifying the business benefits, defining the time and monies needed to invest in the work, and communicating the benefits and costs in a way that sells the project. In some cases, the organization or management may require a robust or formal business case. This module does not attempt to cover full business case development or specific business case templates. However, I will give you basic guidance to document measurable business value so you can communicate it to the appropriate decision makers. So why is it important to define business benefits? If something is important enough to do, and it requires more than just 1 or 2 people taking action, you will need to get the appropriate people and potentially some funding to support the work. This means you need to define a project, and as Jim McLennan says, all projects should have a clear objective, a practical plan, and an understanding of the costs and benefits to get the thing done. In this module we are focusing on the costs and benefits. Defining business benefits helps you to understand and sell your proposed project or change effort to senior leadership. And this is the way you will get the resources needed to pursue it, to either justify working on the problem, justify resources and monies to develop a solution. Your leadership team will then look at what resources and funding they have and will use your benefits input to prioritize and allocate the spending of these resources for optimum benefit across the business. Clear and quantified benefits will help them prioritize between various project or opportunity options, because there is always more ideas than there is time or money to do them. In addition, clear people and money investment requirements will speed up the process of getting the required resources you need. Let's look at the type of business justification you may need. The form and format of your business benefits input depends on your need and the requirements of your management or organization. For most improvement projects, a summary statement of benefits and costs is likely to be sufficient, and this is the focus of this module. A formal business case template is required for certain types of projects and within certain organizations for larger initiatives. For instance, all initiatives and projects funded in IBM's CIO organization require a formal business case. Business cases are also required for transformation initiatives launched by some of IBM's enterprise transformation leaders. It may also be requested by your line management for larger projects that require time from people outside your organization. There are 5 basic steps to defining business benefits. They are: clarify the business problem and objectives of the project. Define the project goals in measurable terms. Determine the relationship between the project goals and benefits. Define the investment needed to achieve the project goals, this includes time and monies. And package and communicate the benefits. The remainder of this module discusses each of these steps and gives examples and references. Step 1 is to clarify the business problem and objectives of the project. If you don't know clearly what you are planning to achieve, you cannot define the benefits. Even if you are just trying initially scope a project idea, you need a vision of the end goal and benefits. To do this, you want to clearly define the business problem, or what is the problem you are trying to solve, and the project objectives, what do you want to achieve. In addition, if you haven't already done so, you will want to clarify the scope of the project as well. Several examples are shown here with the business problem and some corresponding project objectives. These are simple examples, and you may find multiple objectives for the problem you are trying to achieve. Note that as you are defining the business problem and objectives, always consider all of the stakeholders, including the end user, and also evaluate if your objectives cause problems for downstream processes. So for the business problem of help desk calls being escalated, consider the objectives from the perspective of the help desk process, time and cost, the support team members, productivity, satisfaction, and of course the end user, wasted time, satisfaction with result. Step 2 is to define the project goals in measurable terms. Here is an overview of several examples. Sometimes it is difficult to think about all the savings or benefits that could result from a change. The list shows several examples in each category. You can use this list to help you brainstorm the full possibilities of the project or change you have in mind. As you do this step, consider pulling together a group of knowledgeable people to help you brainstorm. Project goals may also be considered as key performance indicators. They must be able to be measured. If possible, state both the current state and target measurement for the objective. Now you are ready to determine the relationship between the project goal and benefits. Business benefits can be categorized as revenue, cost savings, productivity, cost or expense avoidance, customer satisfaction, and strategic value. To help translate your project goals into these types of business benefits, here are some sample questions to consider. For efficiency goals, does the reduction in cycle time result in increase in revenue or reduction in cost to perform the task? How many fewer people are needed with elimination of steps and reduction in unneeded information or rework? How can this translate to increased productivity or revenue? For effectiveness goals, how much rework and time is saved with the reduction in number of complaints? How much more revenue is produced by not missing shipments? How much cost is reduced? For throughput goals, how much additional revenue can we achieve with an increased number of deals won? How many more requests can we complete without adding additional staff? And, for cash flow goals, how much penalty cost can we avoid by reducing late payments to vendors? Or, how much cost can we reduce by reducing the inventory of features in System X? Here are examples of the business benefits tied to the project goals we have previously listed. You will note that we are not just stating what the type of benefit is, but we define a specific measurable target, some % of revenue increase, cost reduction, or change in specific number of people required to do the job. The next step, step 4, is to estimate the spending needed to achieve the project goals, both time and monies. There are many things that you will need people's time and other resources for to accomplish your project. Costs must include resources spent analyzing the problem, developing a solution and implementing the solution. You may be focusing on one step at a time, so the scope depends on what you need to accomplish. Much of the cost of Kaizen projects will be for people to support analysis, fact-finding and defining or designing the solution. The following roles and activities are needed for early analysis: project planning and management, process expertise, data analysis, other subject matter experts. And, for each role or activity, you need to estimate the time needed. You will be working with many people within your organization and you will not need to pay for their time directly. There are cases where you will need budget for specific expertise. In these cases you will need to work with your financial advisor to calculate expected costs. For many point Kaizen projects that you may focus on, you and your team can plan and execute process changes without significant additional external expertise. If your proposed solution requires changes to IT applications or changes that may impact other business functions, you will need to reach out to the CIO team or the Enterprise Process Owner representative. Estimating costs and benefits. In most of your Point Kaizen initiatives, we recommend you the option 1 below to calculate your business case, as with actual volumes and task times, your level of accuracy will be higher. This is the official approach to quantify business benefits for Q2C. The option 2 is also possible, when you don't have accurate volumes. Benefit calculation. Let's look at following example. Assumption is that the data we need is available. You have accurate volumes, and task time from is process. Step 1. First you need to identify type of benefit. Are you focusing on cycle time reduction? Or you also expect throughput reduction? Step 2. You can now calculate the total hours saved per year. Current task time times the volume converted to hours per year minus future expected task time times the volume converted to hours per year is equal to total squad hours saved per year. This may sound complicated, but don't worry, it's much easier than it sounds. If you would need to convert the squad hours into full-time equivalents, simply continue with step 3 to convert the total hours by dividing with 1700. For money value, you can continue with step 4 and convert the total FTE reduced by year to hard benefits by multiplying with the burden rate for your location. Now that you have estimated benefits and costs, you need to package and communicate them. In this step, you bring together all of the information you have gathered and document it in a clear, complete story for the decision makers. For a basic business benefits summary, you will want to concisely summarize the problem statement, project objectives, benefits, costs, and assumptions you have identified. For additional assistance, contact your operations manager or Kaizen PM for help with the business case. This is a real example. In this case, the business problem was that the TSS teams were dealing with 3 workflow tools. There was manual duplication of activities in IBM Engage support in order to track hands-off 15 minutes by request. There were serious tool performance issues, resulting in bad experience back to business partners and sellers, and it had huge Q2C cycle time impact. It resulted with additional Q2C workload for helpdesk tickets creation and workload for CIO resolution. There was lack of cognitive tracking solutions, and insufficient visibility of handling statuses, pending actions, and measurements. Our corresponding project actions, shown below, are defining the major steps to approach the problem. 1. Connect the TSS portal used by the BPs directly with S and enable notifications to go in both directions. 2. Unify all the dispersed TSS metrics into one pole of data to allow central dashboard view with some predictive flavor on future trends. Next, we define the project goals and identify an efficiency goal, stating it as expected improvements from this project. The effect of our action will be reduced tooling for Q2C. The users will manage and track all requests in IBM Engage support. It will also remove duplication of actions, saving up to 10 minutes per request. Eliminating the impact of TW3, GCWM outages on Q2C and customers by 100% and reduce IT support needs. We will implement real-time monitoring of all relevant business metrics for Q2C, sellers and BPs so to identify potential execution blockers in time and accelerate resolution significantly. At the right bottom corner you can see the summary of the benefits and cost to make this happen. This reduction of tools and tracking activities will result with total of $309,000 USD. In this example, the team has estimated that they need the time from 3 developers over 8 to 10 weeks to execute the solution. Their assumptions include additional IT cost avoidance by eliminating technical maintenance of the 3 different tools. The return of this investment in 3 developers will happen in the first 2 months of the project full deployment. I hope you've enjoyed the business benefits module and that you will find its contents useful as you work to your projects. Finally, let's review what we've learned in this module. We have reviewed the basic concept of business benefits and why business benefits are important. You've been introduced to the different types of business cases, how to quantify and communicate business benefits. You will know where to go to get further help if you need to create a more formal business case for your work. And remember, it's not what you do, but rather what you learn by doing it, that matters. Thank you for your attendance throughout this module.